While many people are focusing on Trump 2.0 and what the administration coming in is going to do on rolling back core environmental Clean Air Act and clean water regulations designed to protect public health and our environment, there's a lot going on at the same time before the U.S. Supreme Court. First, some good news. On Monday, the U.S. Supreme Court denied a petition for a writ of certiorari that had been filed by the oil companies. That's an appeal that they were trying to do of the city of Honolulu's attempt to bring a climate change case against the oil companies for compensation for all the damage that's been created. There are a lot of these state and city climate change action cases going in the state courts. The oil companies were trying to head them off. The Supreme Court refused to take the case. They declined, they denied certiorari. That's good news. These climate change cases will go forward in the state courts. Second, the Supreme Court has heard oral argument in a NEPA case. And in the Seven Counties Coalition versus Eagle County case, the court's going to be looking at whether there's some more limits that it will impose on the foundational environmental law, the National Environmental Policy Act, NEPA. That opinion will be coming out sometime between now and June. Third, the Supreme Court has taken a case to review where do Clean Air Act appeals go. Under the Clean Air Act and practice over the last 40 years, appeals of Clean Air Act decisions and regulations by the US EPA go to the US Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia. There's some parties arguing that they shouldn't automatically go to the DC Circuit. The Supreme Court is going to consider whether those appeals can go to other places. And that would allow industrial polluters to sort of cherry pick, forum shop, and look for a friendlier forum in order to file appeals of EPA Clean Air Act regulations than in the DC Circuit. Fourth and finally, the Supreme Court on Monday asked the federal government, the Solicitor General, for its view of a case that's before the court on Clean Water Act citizen suits. That means that the Solicitor General's office will file a brief and they'll tell the court how they think the court ought to act on that pending petition. So a lot going on before the Supreme Court. These cases collectively, as well as individually, are a big deal for the environment. The Environmental Law and Policy Center is all over this, and we'll keep you informed of what's happening. Thank you very much for all you do to support the Environmental Law and Policy Center and to protect the public interest. Best wishes.